Even though I'm not a fan of music when it comes to cartoons, I have to admit, these two episodes made me impressed on the fact that the Loud House is creative when it comes to songs. Granted, it may be debatable considering that my opinions towards the songs are just not as the same as other people's opinions, but believe me when I say this, when I listen to the songs for once in a while, I have to admit that they're really good, and to tell you the truth, these two episodes from the Loud House and the Casagrandes is further proof that anything is possible in the Loud House. And to tell you the truth, I don't even think that there's a single person that expressed one song that they liked the least. Mainly negative opinions towards that song in comparison to positive opinions over the other songs. Child's Play and Do the Food Shake centers around the main characters just trying to find money, but at the same time success. But considering that Kawa is always into fame and fortune in comparison to Luna and her band who are trying to get some money in order to buy some new equipment, I'm not really surprised. In Child's Play, Luna and her band learned that Luan got so much money after doing the gigs at parties all because children will be able to raise a lot more money than necessary, which is mainly the reality of what we're living in right now, which gave Luna and her band the confidence to perform gigs at kids' parties. Unfortunately, obviously, the kids are not into hard rock like Luna and her band is, so they need to figure out another solution. Do the Food Shake centers around Kawa remixing a song from the Tropical Fruits after his dad showed him the cover of how they were popular back in the 70s, and after remixing it, it became a major success. Mr. Fuckman, who's a music executive, loves the song remix so much that he wants the remix to be performed at his radio station as long as the tropical fruits are there with Kawa, which leads to Kawa doing investigation. In the Loud House episode, Luna took some inspiration from Lily singing during her free time, and after making a song that is suitable for children, they succeed, but they have to make more because children want more songs. So she and her band continue to spy on Lily to take some inspiration from her singing and lyrics. In the Casagrandes episode, Kawa does his detective skills in order to find the 3 bands of the Tropical Fruits, because without them, he can't use the song, especially without their permission. To tell you the truth, I really found these 2 episodes really interesting, knowing the fact that in the Loud House episode, it centers around Luna trying to do what Luan does best by performing in front of children, but there's a huge difference in comparison to performing in front of a crowd who are into her music. And when it comes to the Casagrandes episode, it showcases the nature of Great Lake City when it comes to celebrities and ex-celebrities, because the Tropical Fruits are to know more after the 70s. And even though that the characters could have been playing the role a lot more better, I can say for a fact that Kawa, despite having too many episodes, his role in this episode is definitely one of his best in the spin-off. Sure, his goal of getting a big break is nowhere near as Luna's goal in the Loud House episode, especially since that Luna's big break from really loud music is a lot more impressive. It's not like that he has anything else to do, and to tell you the truth, for how he's portrayed, he's not that bad. Granted, there was the investigation, well, he was investigating his father to the point that he just took his sandwich, which leads to him being really paranoid, which in all honesty, it's really unnecessary, but out of all the mean-spirited things I've seen from the show, that isn't really much of a mean-spirited moment in comparison to what I've witnessed Kawa did in other episodes. Then again, Sojo is doing most of the mean-spirited stuff in this, so for me personally, blame him more than Kawa. In Child's Play, you can really relate to Luna because this is similar to Rolling to Nowhere where she tries to find a job, but she's not doing everything correctly, and yet at the same time, she actually learns from experience because she is performing in front of little kids that what Luann performs when it comes to her gigs. And with everything that Luna did by getting more song ideas, by spying on Lily, to tell you the truth, if Luann did any of that type of stuff, then it would probably be out of character for her, which is somewhat ironic considering that Luann and Luna are sharing the same bedroom, and this leads to a scenario where Luna needs to figure out some tips in order to make more songs that are kids friendly. When it comes to the songs that she performs, along with her band, I understand that the songs are short and we may not be able to find a longer version of the song and the songs are mostly the same when it comes to music. To tell you the truth, it's not that difficult for children to be invested when it comes to kiddie songs. They can enjoy any song it is, and when they get older, they will grow out of it. And believe me, I learned that from experience after listening to so many songs during childhood that I grew out of when I got older and got into other music, which is mainly the type of music that Luna does when it comes to performing gigs at people at her age. And do you want to know the similarity that this episode took from the Casagrandes episode when it comes to this coming out after that episode? It's the fact that Kathleen Morgan, which is similar to Mr. Fuckman, is willing to give Luna and her band the gig by performing on her show as long as they come up with a new song. It's really weird that the similarities in these two episodes are so insignificant, and yet I'm the only one seeing them. But when we get into the positives of the Casagrandes episode, like I said, it's about celebrities who used to be celebrities. Maybelle, who is a character that I did talk about almost 3 months ago, well technically almost 4 months ago, it's been revealed that she was originally part of the Tropical Fruits band, but apparently the whole reasonings of getting out of the band is way more personal, and to tell you the truth, it's really a shame that we're not going to get another episode centering around the Tropical Fruits, mainly the fact that we would have seen a lot more centering around her chemistry in the band. The reason onto why she broke up with the band is because her friends have been pulling pranks on hiding her pre-show Mongo, which is mainly where she calms down. To tell you the truth, if we learn more about her past involving her friends from the band, it goes to show that I would have appreciated the side characters a lot more. I mean, you can make the argument that the side characters aren't that interesting to you, but when they have an episode centering around them, and it's mainly from a spin-off, there was a lot to work with. Like, this is the type of material that I wanted to see from the spin-off when it comes to more potential ideas. Granted, it may be a Kara episode, but it's a Kara episode that's done right in comparison to the other Kara episodes. Seriously, Lola has been Kara like 3 times, and I'm pretty sure it's not even the end of it. But to tell you the truth, considering that most of the Loud House episodes nowadays are focusing on the characters when it comes to their relationships with others, and the fact that it's mainly the same thing that we've witnessed since the show has grew after season 1 and maybe 2, it's really bound to happen to have an episode centering around side characters for a change. Like, it may be somewhat debatable that it just is maybe in favor of giving more episode potential ideas, mainly focusing on sibling relationships that we're familiar with, but it's not really a huge problem when I look into these episodes focusing on the side characters and the fact of how the execution is just good as it is. In all honesty, seeing Luna and her band just trying to find other song ideas from other toddlers since that Lily is away is honestly humorous. Like, you can really tell that this isn't really normal for what Luna and her band would do, but at the same time, this is the same character who can't be able to find the perfect job after figuring out her future before learning the whole story from Chunk is not what she thinks. Believe me, you will probably do the same thing that what Luna would do in Child's Play. And do you want to know what's really amazing involving Child's Play is the fact that Sully, who brought a kazoo while trying to find inspiration from other titles. It gave Luna inspiration. In all honesty, it's really a shame that Mazzy and Sully aren't gaining development when it comes to how they're portrayed, and I understand that the portray of Sully in this is that he used to use kazoos when he was longer, but believe me when I say this is still something that we really wanted to see involving the newer seasons of the Loud House when it comes to these types of episodes. If you're going to make an episode without the other Loud siblings and having one Loud sibling carry the episode, then this is it. Yes, I understand it's infamous when it comes to shows not taking the characters seriously at times, but when it comes to a few exceptions, the Loud House episode has been overshadowed by negativity, but it's no surprise. And believe me, I really felt like that the Casagrandes episode did what it could in order to be entertaining in its own way, since I originally wanted to compare it to one of the road trip episodes, but since I scrapped that in favor of the Loud House Season 7 episode Child's Play, I guess anything is possible, as long as you think closely into these two episodes. When it comes to the ending of Do the Food Shake, yes, it's mainly the It's All My Fault thing, which is really repetitive, but to tell you the truth, this is the least worst It's All My Fault moment in comparison to the other moments that I've seen, from not only from the spin-off, but also the Loud House. Let me just say this right now, judging of how that Carl, even though he didn't ask permission from the Tropical Foods, it doesn't make a difference considering that they haven't been a band over the last several decades. Besides, the reconcile of the Tropical Foods is honestly good, especially since that one of the band members have kept the manga for so many decades. And believe me, it may be disgusting, but to tell you the truth, if that manga is really important to Maybell, then I'm pretty sure that she had a great 70s with anything that she had during her youth. So, for me personally, what they had back then is a lot more different than what we have right now. If you tell me onto why I enjoyed this episode, it isn't because of the music, even though it may be the highlight of the episode. Well, in comparison to Child's Play, well, there were like 6 songs, if you include Play It Loud. It really feels like that there was a lot of passion put into this episode when it comes to having the side characters having set of focus for an episode that they had during their youth, but they're all older and they moved on. And since it's been decades since Maybell has reconciled with her old band, it's always those types of elements that you will witness in other episodes that are from a band or not, or something else. When it comes to the two endings, they're both good. To tell you the truth, when Luna succeeds by acting like a kid, like a band, it may be juvenile, yeah, but at the same time, Luna has done a lot of extreme things throughout this show. So for me personally, just her trying to find inspiration by being like a kid when it comes to the other characters from her band, it actually makes sense for her character. And since that they managed to succeed, I think it's fair to say that Luna and her band have their big break, even though that Luna already had her big break back in really loud music, but in all honesty, she's gonna be fine for years to come, especially after this show comes to an end. In comparison to the Casagrandes episode, well, Carl doesn't technically get his big break after this episode. I'm just going to say that it's mainly him not being able to find the perfect remix, considering that since that Luna is having a better time on coming up with kid songs, it's gonna be a difficult time for Carl to find more songs that are just the same popularity as the Tropical Food song. Let's be real, it has nothing to do with him getting into trouble, because it will probably be a lot more obvious to point that out. So with that out of the way, I don't think that either episode is better or worse than each other. So for the second time, I'm giving both episodes a point, which leads to another draw. Hey, it was bound to happen, so for me personally, keep in mind, it's gonna happen quite a couple of times once we head into the new year, or maybe at the end of this year with only 2 more Loud House vs. Casagrandes videos left. So I'm giving 2 episodes an 8 out of 10. And when it comes to Detective Caldwell, next week he's returning. And he has competition that is mostly controversial. And no, he's not competing against Lenny since hoping a detective happened in the shorts of the Loud House. Believe me, there's something controversial that I was waiting to talk about for a long time.